talking quite a bit about how various states are trying to persuade people to get vaccinated, and they're doing it through various incentives, a raffle for a gun or some other nonsense lottery that people can be submitted to if they get those jabs in their arms. Now, it's frustrated me because think about all of the countries that do not have the same access to the vaccine that we have here in the United States. Countries that have been fighting for the ability to manufacture their own vaccine, and the only way they could do that is through a vaccine waiver. I mean, people are suffering throughout the world because they don't have what we have in regard to this coronavirus vaccine. So it has been really frustrating to me because we look like petulant children when really we should be grateful that we have the ability to keep ourselves safe. But there is one incentive that I might give a little hat tip to. Well, hat tip to comes from the state of Washington. Washington state will allow adults to claim a free pre-rolled joint when they get their COVID-19 vaccine shot at an authorized weed dispensary. The state's Liquor and Cannabis Board announced that Monday. The Joints for Jabs program will run through July 12th with the aim of convincing more residents to get their COVID shot, and come after the state received multiple requests from cannabis retailers to be allowed to give away pot to promote state vaccination efforts. Again, look, obviously I wish that it didn't have to come to this. I wish that we really were able to have like a moment of self-reflection, just compare our situation to other countries and not feel the need to, focus on incentives to get vaccinated. But if there were to be an incentive, this is it. This is it.
I don't know. I mean, mine was reached. It was almost the first one. It was when Krispy Kreme said that they were going to be involved. That for me is stronger. Yeah, imagine. I'm not. It's too depressing. I was going to sketch it out, but imagine being in India right now and hearing they're giving away drugs to try to get people to get the vaccine.
I know.
Will it work? Probably not. Drugs, trucks, guns, $1 million, none of it's probably gonna work. There's nothing you can give them to get them to take their medicine. Oh God, that's depressing. Yeah, it's a great program. They should have been doing it the whole time. I was okay with the gun thing. I like this better. But isn't it also amazing that inside of the United States, depending on where you happen to live, you can get free weed for getting medicine. Or you can be strip searched in public because they think you've got that drug.
Exactly. No, I was going to make that point. I'm glad you did. We just did a story on today's show about one young man and literally a 16-year-old teenager who were strip searched in public because cops thought they smelled weed. And so, you have that situation in some parts of this country, and then in Washington state, it's like, we really want you to get vaccinated, so we're gonna give you a free joint. Obviously I want pot to be legalized recreationally, medicinally, just legalized overall. That's the right solution. And in my utopian world, my fantasy utopian world that doesn't exist, people wouldn't need incentives to get vaccinated. But here we are, Americans continuing to make us look pretty bad on the world stage with our behavior.
Not to be a downer, but we're still losing like more than 500 people a day, months after vaccination.
I know.
Was available.
The number of new cases has slowed down considerably because, would you look at that? Vaccines work. And to be fair, yes, the rate of people getting vaccinated has in fact slowed down, but I am happy to see that the distribution of the vaccine has been smooth under Biden, and I believe more than half of Americans at this point are fully vaccinated, but we need to get up to at least 70%.
Yeah, if it's gonna be slowing down, at least it's because we're terrible, not because the government failed us.
That's right.
For once.
That's right.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.